That's part of the work that's required in order for you to manifest success. The top manifesting mistake to avoid. So this mindset creates a negative vibration, which can hinder your ability to manifest. The top manifesting mistake to avoid. And this is something that I see people who start to create visions, people who start to look at manifesting in their life. They're really good at dreaming. I was a great dreamer. I dreamt of the stars and the moon and everything growing up. And that's not enough. And that's not enough. So we can start to have a dream, but then what happens is when you have a dream, okay, and by definition, a dream is something that you're not living into just yet. So it's not your reality. It's not your life. It's not your experience. It's not your past. It's something that's new. And by definition, new is something uncomfortable. It's scary. And so when you go to grow, because a vision is it requires us to grow, and you start to create that vision and dream big, not sometimes, all the time, what initially happens is that old you, that old paradigm, that old belief system will come in and say, no, who do you think you are? That's too tough. That's too hard. That's impossible. You've never done this before. You've never, you've tried before and you've failed. And, well, how are you going to get to $1 million when you can't, you don't even have enough to pay for bills this month? How are you going to create, this incredible relationship when your husband just cheated on you and left you? How are you going to have vital, full health when you've got this diagnosis that the doctor is saying is never going to leave you? And so what happens when we start to manifest success is, and what gets in the way is when we focus on what's not there. Focusing on the lack is always going to kill your dreams. Focusing on the missing piece, focusing on the lack is going to kill your opportunity to bring in that vision. So one of the biggest mistakes in manifesting is to focus on what you lack instead of what you desire. So this mindset creates a negative vibration, which can hinder your ability to manifest. It gets in the way. It gets in the way because you will not manifest anything you haven't experienced, envisioned, lived into thousands of times before. So you want to ask yourself, are you living more in your vision, what you want, or are you living more in the lack, what you don't want, the current conditions, the bank account, the relationship, the health diagnosis? Because whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you always get what you focus on. So we want to focus on what we want, not what we don't want. And so how do we do that? Everyone says, well, Trez, that's easy for you to say, but I don't have money to pay my bills, or I am in this situation where I don't know what I'm going to do next year, or I'm in this in these problems. And so that's part of the discipline. That's part of the discipline. That's part of the work that's required in order for you to manifest success. Henry David Thoreau says, stand guard at the portal of your mind. And so we need to discipline ourselves to focus on what we want versus focusing on what we don't want, focusing on what's missing, focus on the fact that we don't have something right now. And when you know 100% that you're going to get whatever you focus on, then we start to learn by experience to shift our focus, to shift that energy from saying, nope, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, and I'm going to go down the path of what I want to create. And here's the thing, everyone thinks 60 to 70,000 thoughts in one day. And out of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts that we think in one day, 95% of them are the same thoughts as the day before. And out of those thoughts that we keep playing over and over again in our mind, 80% of them are negative. 80% of them are focused on what's missing, what's not there, what could go wrong, how things could be messed up, how I don't deserve it, or I can't have it. And so focusing on the lack will absolutely hinder your ability to manifest.